What exactly is Shoko's curse technique? Fun fact, she actually doesn't have one. She's like Yuji in that way. She is just extremely gifted at the reverse curse technique. So let's talk more about that. So as you know, Shoko is the resident doctor, and that's not only because she is prodigious at the act of reverse curse technique, but it's also because she can perform it on others, something that is extremely rare. Not even Gojo can do that. In fact, the only people we've seen across the entire story able to do this are Shoko, Akotsu, and Sukuna himself. Now, Shoko isn't just the doctor because she can do RCT on other people like this. She's also literally a doctor, as in she passed the national examination. However, she didn't really have the rights to even take the national examination. She cheated her way to be able to do that, but then she did pass it on her own. However, does this cutting of corners and her addictive personality remind you of anyone else? Well, if you were thinking of Dr. House, you're not alone. Dr. House was actually one of the inspirations for Shoko, and in fact, her last name contains the kanji for the word house. So while Shoko doesn't have a curse technique, she is still extremely powerful and important due to her natural talent with the reverse curse technique. This makes her a high priority for enemies to this world, and it's one of the reasons why they keep her so separate most of the time from everyone else. Now, why is she so good at reverse curse technique? We don't know. It might just be one of her natural gifts. However, something that's very interesting is what Sukuna said about her recently, and that is that her reverse curse technique has always been fundamentally different from mine or Gojo Satoru's. What does that mean? Now, Gege himself is the one that told us that Shoko didn't have a curse technique. We found that out in the JJK fan book. However, that statement from Sukuna is from much more recently. So maybe Gege is cooking something up, Maybe she does have a curse technique and it secretly has been influencing or could explain why her RCT is fundamentally different from everyone else's, because why would that be the case? And perhaps that explains why she's so good and prodigious at this in the first place, right? Or that could be completely wrong. Maybe it's something else entirely. Or maybe the translations of what Sukuna said aren't entirely correct and I'm drawing the wrong conclusions from it. In any case, this is still a pretty interesting question mark about what's exactly going on with her. And finally, special shout out to Marge. Thank you so much for the support. And for your second question here about why not heal Yuji, you may need to let me know specifically what you're talking about. So feel free to hit me in the DMs or in the comments of whatever platform you're watching on. But if you mean why didn't Shoko heal Yuji in season 1 when his heart got ripped out and he ended up having to make the binding vow with Sukuna to heal him, it's most likely because Yuji was beyond her capabilities at that point. Which you may be asking, then why could Sukuna do it? Well, it's because RCT, when used on somebody else, aka Shoko healing a patient, it's far less effective than when somebody uses RCT on themselves. And as Sukuna is technically in Yuji's body and they're housed two souls in the same vessel, Sukuna healing Yuji would basically be more akin to someone healing themselves, so he was more able to heal Yuji at that point. At least that's the best understanding we have at this point. But again, if that's not what you meant, let me know.